as a scientist, as you're studying these things and you come across certain findings and you see how it affects animals, it sometimes makes you question some of your own lifestyle choices and what you're eating for dinner, and how you're eating and how you behave, right? So, personally, I don't do intermittent fasting. I know a lot of people who do, and I have friends and family who do, who will say it has a great effect on how they feel. I think there are other lifestyle things that also have positive effects that have been proven, which is exercise being a really key one. You'll see really a large effect of exercise on sort of health, obviously, and this can impact longevity. So I'm not sure that there's necessarily like one single biggest change that could do it. But yeah, there are, I think, additively some small lifestyle choices that can be made that can certainly make you, feel healthier and be healthier.
Yeah, there are, evidence that, combinations of things like dietary restriction and, maybe improved exercise and, can have sort of a compounding effect. And another aspect that can have a compounding effect with dietary restriction is sort of your circadian rhythm and sleep. So, what they, in one study, they showed that, it's better to sort of keep your calories kind of at the beginning of the day and have the fasting period later in the day before you sleep, because we know that autophagy is also naturally more active while we're sleeping. And so if you have that fasting period before you fall asleep, you sort of kickstart autophagy. And then when you're sleeping, it sort of boosts it to an even higher level than it normally would have. And so you can actually, create an even, greater effect in autophagy activation in that way. Now there's all these different kinds of, diets, like, where you fast for the first six, or you only eat in the first 6 hours of your day. And so then you have, another 6 hours of fasting before you fall asleep. And then you're obviously fasting while you're sleeping as well. There's, others where you eat one meal a day within an hour, and that's probably the most extreme, version. I think, I think having any sort of, extended period of fasting, in your day is going to be beneficial. And maybe there's just different, variations in the total effect size that you might have. But, again, you want to balance, sort of the fasting with making sure that you're not going to be, malnourished in the process too. And I think doing these fasting practices intermittently, every other day or something like that actually, has similar health benefits. And it's probably going to help, one, make it, more practical, I think, for people to actually do and be consistent with, because, I think, most people enjoy eating. And so if you do this at least every other day, I think it's going to be something easier to actually stick to long term, rather than doing it, really extremely, and then, going back to sort of like older, like, habits.
If we need to continue to do it every day, I suppose not so many people can stick to that.